You know that feeling. You're lying in bed at night, scrolling through Instagram, and you see someone living the life you want, working out consistently, building their dream business. Actually reading those books is collecting dust on your shelf, and something clicks. That's it, you tell yourself. Tomorrow is day one of the new me. You set your alarm for 5 a.m., download a meditation app, maybe even buy some fancy workout clothes. The motivation is pumping through your veins. You can already see yourself crushing it. Day one, amazing. You're unstoppable. Day two, still going strong. Day three, well, that's where things get interesting. Suddenly, your alarm feels like your worst enemy. That meditation app is buried under your TikTok notifications. And those workout clothes, they're getting really comfortable, as pajamas. If you're nodding right now, I get it. I've been there, probably more times than I'd like to admit. And let me tell you something that might sound crazy. It's not your fault. Look, if you're the kind of person who starts scrolling away the moment someone mentions discipline or morning routines, give me just 10 minutes. That's it. If what I'm about to share doesn't completely change how you think about self-improvement, close the video, unsubscribe, never look back. But if you're still here, I'm about to show you why everything you've been told about personal growth is a lie. No motivation required, no willpower needed, just pure science-backed systems that make self-improvement as addictive as that TikTok feed you can't resist. This isn't about becoming a productivity robot or joining some toxic hustle culture. It's about understanding how your brain actually works, and then using that knowledge to make personal growth feel as natural as brushing your teeth. According to neuroscience research from Stanford University, our brains are literally wired to take the path of least resistance. That's why willpower always fails. But here's the thing, we can use this same wiring to our advantage. In this video, I'm breaking down the exact system I used to transform my life, from a guy who couldn't focus for 5 minutes to running a successful business, hitting the gym 5 times a week, and reading 30 books a year. And no, I'm not special. I just cracked the code. Let's start with step 1, the dopamine hack. Let's talk about something that's literally rewiring your brain right now. You know that urge to check your phone first thing in the morning? That's not just a bad habit. It's a dopamine addiction that's sabotaging your entire day. Dr. Andrew Huberman from Stanford Medical School discovered something really interesting. When you check social media first thing in the morning, you flood your brain with dopamine, the same chemical released when you eat sugar or, well, do other pleasurable things. But here's what nobody tells you. That morning, dopamine spike actually destroys your brain's natural reward system for the entire day. You literally can't focus on important tasks because your brain is chasing that next social media hit. Instead, here's what high performers do. For the first hour after waking up, absolutely no social media. None. Zero. If you're a professional who needs to check messages, fine. But stick to email and essential WhatsApp. Your brain needs time to calibrate its natural dopamine system. Think about it this way. Your brain's dopamine system is like a muscle. Every time you scroll mindlessly, you're training that muscle to crave quick, empty rewards. But we can retrain it. Here's the system I call progressive reward stacking. Start your day with a 10-minute meditation or light exercise. This naturally increases dopamine levels in a healthy way. Do a deep work session, and here's how to do it. For 50 minutes, just work on one thing. That's it. Close everything else on your computer and put your phone in another room so you're not tempted to check it. When your 50 minutes are up, take a quick 10-minute break to reset your brain. Stand up right away, go outside if you can, take some deep breaths, drink some water, and do a few jumping jacks or stretches to get your blood flowing. Just don't touch social media during this break. That'll completely mess up your focus, and you'll have a hard time getting back into the zone. Why 50-10 instead of the common 25-5 Pomodoro? Research shows it takes about 23 minutes to reach peak focus. With 25-minute sessions, you're stopping just as you hit your stride. Remember, dopamine isn't your enemy. It's one of your brain's most powerful tools for motivation and focus. But just like any tool, you need to learn how to use it correctly. This is why most productivity advice fails. It focuses on willpower instead of understanding how your brain actually works. Speaking of which, let's talk about something even more powerful than dopamine. Step 2. Identity shifts. Do you know the biggest mistake people make? They focus on actions instead of identity. It might sound strange at first, but stick with me, because this is where everything clicks. Most people get self-improvement completely backwards. They focus on what they need to do instead of who they need to become. Think about it. How many times have you said, I need to go to the gym, I should read more, I have to eat healthier? Notice something? These are all actions. And that's exactly why they fail, because you're trying to force yourself to do something instead of becoming someone. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, discovered something fascinating in his research. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. But the key is, you need to cast the vote before you take the action. Let me show you how this works in real life. Instead of saying, I need to go to the gym, start saying, I am an athlete. Sounds fake at first, right? But watch what happens. Athletes don't debate whether they should work out. Athletes don't need motivation to eat well. Athletes naturally get enough sleep. Athletes take care of their bodies. Why? Because these actions align with their identity. It's not about forcing yourself anymore. It's about staying true to who you are. Here's why this works. Research from Stanford's psychology department shows that our brains are wired to maintain consistency between our actions and our self-image. When you shift your identity first, your brain automatically adjusts your actions to match. But the crucial part that most people miss is, you can't just say these things once and expect magic. You need to reinforce your new identity every single day. Here's how. Start your morning by writing your new identity statement. If this looks fancy to you, then just imagine it. Look for small ways to prove it throughout the day. At night, reflect on how you lived up to your identity. But identity alone isn't enough. You need to set up your environment to support your new identity, which brings us to the most powerful part of this system. Step 3, the no willpower system. Let me hit you with something mind-blowing. MIT researchers discovered that 95% of your daily actions aren't conscious choices. They're triggered by your environment. Think about that. 95%. That snack you didn't plan to eat? Probably because you saw it on your desk. That workout you skipped? Your gym clothes were buried in the laundry. That book you haven't touched? It's competing with your phone on the nightstand. This is why relying on willpower is like trying to swim upstream. You're fighting against your environment instead of letting it work for you. But here's how we flip the script. First, let's talk about your morning routine. Most people keep their phone by their bed, right? That's like trying to quit sugar while working at a candy store. Instead, put your phone in another room before bed, or put it in a place where it's hard for you to reach. Replace it with a book you want to read, your journal, a glass of water, your workout clothes, laid out and ready. For your workspace, clear your desk completely before bed. Leave out only what you need for your most important morning task. Put all potential distractions in a drawer. Step 4, the 1% rule. Forget massive overnight changes. Focus on getting 1% better each day. The math is mind-blowing. If you improve by just 1% daily, you'll be 37 times better in a year. But most people try to make massive changes and fail. Look, I could talk about this system all day, but knowledge without action is useless. So here's your challenge. Pick one step from this video and implement it tomorrow. In next week's video, I'm breaking down advanced techniques for rapid skill acquisition. Hit subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss it. Listen, don't be the person who just watches self-improvement videos. Be the person who actually transforms their life. See you in the next one.